Hey there, everybody. Welcome to our new American Idol Arthur Gunn reaction. Of course, we're going to talk about Arthur singing Remember Me, but let's just celebrate, first of all, that Arthur made it into the top 10 in the first place as though we're surprised.
No, I don't think anybody is surprised. He is absolutely the best. I'm really excited that he has made it through.
I just like that they gave us the result at the start of the show as opposed to, like, they just put us out of our misery instead of being like, did he make it? Did this person make it? Find out in an hour and a half.
No, and it feels like it's fair that they did it this way because that way people know because they've opened the voting, right?
Yeah.
So you can't keep it till the end and then Arthur doesn't get all the votes that he should because people don't know that he's there. No, it was good. They let us know right away. Arthur got his votes. He is in.
As you guys know by now, we have jumped back into the American Idol pool because number one, we love Arthur Gunn, and number two, we love discussing Arthur Gunn, and we cannot help ourselves. And with that in mind, if you guys enjoy us talking about Arthur Gunn, because who doesn't, be sure to hit that subscribe button, because so long as Arthur remains in the competition, which it's going to be a while, we're going to be here talking all about him. We don't want you to miss any of our updates.
All right, so let's start off with a beef that I have with American Idol.
Okay, yes.
And Idol, I know you're not watching, but I don't care. I'm going to say it anyways. They had this package where they were talking to Arthur and they subtitled him, which was, listen, we all understand what he's saying. I understand that he has an accent, but we all understand what he's saying. You don't need to subtitle him. That was a beef. I thought that was ridiculous. So, American Idol, just get your you-know-what together. He does not need to be subtitled.
Yeah,
we can understand him just fine.
It's disrespectful. This is not the only show that has even done this. Like, I think I remember whether it was The Amazing Race or Survivor, or it's like anytime someone has even the slightest bit of an accent, they like insult our intelligence by putting the captions down. It's like, we all run into people with accents in our lives, and guess what?
Yes.
They can communicate, and we can understand what they are communicating. You don't need to hold our hands through all of it.
No, we understand Arthur just fine. So, no more subtitles, American Idol. Just drop that nonsense, please.
Okay, so this was Disney week, and, we are both kind of old school Disney people.
Yeah, I've never seen Coco, so I didn't know this song that he was doing. So when he said, I've never seen Coco, I was like, me too, Arthur, me too. I have also never seen Coco.
Yeah, Arthur was speaking to our souls.
I
Basically,
know.
I like to imagine that Arthur, like us, just hasn't seen any movies in like a few years.
Yeah.
And so he's just like on all the old school, but I guess this is probably a situation where production or some Bobby Bones or someone was like, this is a song you should do. You would do a really good job with it.
And boy, did he ever. I've never heard this song before, and it just feels like an Arthur Gunn original. One of the things that the judges had said was that this was one of his best. Like, this was like one of the absolute best that they've ever seen from him. And I have to agree, it's pretty good. And my favorite is his CCR remix that he did himself. That was so good. I'm dying on that hill. It is absolutely the best. But this is up there in the top 3. They were right. Like, it felt like a song he wrote and just sang.
Number one, I think everybody is dying on the hill that his Have You Ever Seen the Rain is the best performance we've seen from him.
It is the best performance I have ever seen on Idol. I've said it, and there
All
it is.
right, there we go. Okay, so see, my number 2 performance of Arthur is
I
him
listen
doing...
to that song every week. I do.
That's awesome. Like, I think number 2 for me is This Love, but that's probably because I love Bob Marley, so it's just sort of like that's molding my 2 favorite things together.
That's good too.
This might be number 3. I'm going back and forth with a lot of things, but you know what I loved about it, and this is something that we were really deprived of last season, is just that chemistry of having Arthur with the band on stage, kind of like mixing it up, because I felt like as the song went along, like they were all sort of like building momentum together. It's sort of like you're making a really good meal, and let's say you got a few ingredients in the pot, and then you just start throwing some other stuff in, and you're tasting it, and you're just like, oh man, this is getting better, and then you just keep going, and by the time you pour it in the bowl, it's just like, this is the greatest thing. It just like, it built, and I the last like minute of it was just like sublime and meaningful. And I kind of, this is a weird thing to say, I'm kind of glad I hadn't heard this song before, because it really did feel like, kind of you said, like this was Arthur's song, this was his jam. I was just like fully in his world.
I really like seeing him on stage with the band, because he's such a humble guy. Like, after the songs, he's always like, thank you, and I'm really, happy to be here. And he's such a quiet, humble guy.
Yeah.
But then you get him on the stage with the band, and he just feels really cool. Too cool for us. But very cool. I just like seeing him with the band. Like, he feels like a musician, and he is a musician, but like, not just a singer. And we see on Idol a lot people who come on who are just singers, and it's nice to see the people that come on that are like Arthur, that are just a musician through and through, songwriter, plays an instrument and is a singer, he's just the whole package.
Two things here. Number one, how dare you say we're not cool? I mean, are these not the two coolest people you've ever seen in your entire lives? Okay, don't answer that.
Okay, we are not Arthur Gunn cool. Let's not even pretend that
we are nerds.
We are nerds.
Yes. Number two, how much did you enjoy Arthur just basically being like, bah, to John Stamos, when John Stamos was like, oh, you should try to make the first part of it a little bit more like the original. Guess what? I think I've heard this about John Stamos before, that he has like a lot of this like old Disney memorabilia just like stretched throughout his house.
Yeah, and I think John Stamos like was in a band or has a band. He's a music guy, so I understand why they brought him in, because he does have some music background, and it sounds like he's a Disney guy, which is all fine. But it is nice to see musicians like Arthur. It doesn't happen all the time. A lot of time people get on Idol and they get really nervous and they feel like whatever advice is given to them, they have to do it.
Yeah.
I like the artists that know who they are. I think it was Katy Perry said that last night, that just know who they are, and they know what they're about. So even though John is giving this advice, and it could be good advice, Arthur knows what he's comfortable with. He knows how to make a song sound like an Arthur Gunn original. So he's going to stay with what he knows, because let's face it, that is what we are all enjoying. That is what we are all voting for, because we don't want him to sound like John Stamos. I want him to sound like this, like Arthur Gunn.
And it was amazing. I love this performance so much, though I do have to ask this. Are we thumbs up or major thumbs down on just Disney Week in general? Because don't get me wrong, I love Disney songs. But this entire episode, in between the Disney World trip, the Disney songs, John Stamos being on a Disney Plus show, it was a giant advertisement from start to finish.
Yeah, that's always been my problem with stuff like this. Disney especially, because it is just a giant advertisement to go to Disney World at a time that people should not really be traveling.
Yeah.
We're not there yet, guys. Enjoy Disney World later. It'll always be there.
That's fine.
Yeah, it was it just felt like a big ad, and I'm not that crazy about that stuff. I mean, I understand shows gotta have advertisers, they gotta get paid. We watch Big Brother Canada. It is a giant advertisement for like Wendy's and Sunlight and stuff like that. You gotta find a way to keep the show on the air, so I get it.
Yeah. So how long do you think do you think Arthur could win this season? Because
What?
I think
Who
so.
are you? See yourself out.
Okay, see, this is the thing. I've seen out there on the American Idol streets, there's a lot of controversy right now. Yeah, the American Idol streets exist, where there are a lot of diehard Arthur fans, us, and I know there's a lot of others out there as well, and I know there's a bunch of other people who are sort of like, I don't like this twist, it's not fair that he gets to go back.
Listen, I get it. We said this in our last interview, our last video as well. We are dying on Hypocrite Hill.
Yes.
If this was not Arthur coming back, I would also be pissed off about it. And I understand why the contestants might feel a certain way. I said this last season too, when they were putting people in groups. If I was in a room with Arthur, I'd be feeling pretty good. If I was in one of the rooms without Arthur, I'd be very worried that I'm not sticking around, which is exactly what happened.
Yeah.
So they know how big his fan base is, And he's coming into the competition with a massive fan base where everyone else in the competition is still in the building phase. It is wildly unfair. I don't care even a little bit.
I know.
I am so happy he's back, and that's where I stand on it. I'm on Hypocrite Hill.
Yeah.
Dying away for Arthur.
That is fine. I feel the same way. I think he's got a good chance of making it to the end, of winning. Though I admit fully, I know it will be a polarizing victory because there will be some people unhappy with the twist. But guess what? I will be happy.
I will be happy.
Shouldn't our happiness matter?
That's right.
That's what I like to think. But okay, all right. What did you guys think about Arthur moving on? What do you think about his performance of Remember Me? Have you guys seen Coco? Let us know in the comments. And if you guys do enjoy this video, subscribe for more. Give us a like, and yeah, support us further. We have links in that description to the store as well as our Patreon. We'll see you here next time.